Good morning, everyone. I welcome you from not so sunny Costa Rica. It's actually quite rainy right now. Well, it's the rainforest. But it seemed like these trees needed some watering. They needed to take a little sip of water. And that's what I ask you to do as we get set up. Allow everyone to tune in. Yes, pause, compress the chest, let out the air in the ribs, empty out the belly, press the navel towards the spine, letting go of all the carbon dioxide, all the negativity, all that old energy. Deep inhale, filling up the belly with energy, filling up the ribs with positivity, and then your chest with some love. Hold it in, absorb it. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly. Maintain this three-part breath as it promotes relaxation, reduces anxiety. Now, as you breathe, scan your body, pick out any pains, pick out any discomfort, and keep them in mind throughout your practice, and don't force it. You don't have to push through the pain. If the pain is there, it's there for a reason. It's an indicator. Listen to your body. Bring your hands to heart center, and I invite you to set some intentions for today's practice, or you can even dedicate today's practice to someone. Let out all the negativity with a big fire breath. Deep three-part breath, inhale, and then an Om. Namaste. Slowly open the windows of your eyes. Tap back into your surroundings. Focus through your third eye, your drishti. Avoid your thoughts wandering. Just tap into the now. Yoga is here. Yoga is now. Make your way onto all fours. We're going to commence in a tabletop pose, rooting down with Hasta Bandha on your hands, elbows stacked over the wrist, shoulders stacked over the elbows. Rotate the elbows outward so that the eye of your elbow is pointed forward. Stack your knees underneath your hips, and you have the tops of your feet pressed on the mat. Shoulders are drawn away from the ears, looking straight down in between your hands. This is a great alignment posture, and it should be one of the first postures you do rolling out of bed. Inhale, drop the belly, raise the tailbone, shift your gaze forward for a cow pose. Exhale, press against the mat with your hands, round the spine, shift your gaze over to your navel. Cat pose. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, extend the left arm forward and the right leg back. Exhale, compress, bring the elbow to meet the knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, return to tabletop. Inhale, extend the right arm forward and the left leg back, keeping the left foot flexed. Exhale, compress, bring that right elbow to meet the left knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, return to tabletop. Inhale, cow. Drop the belly, raise the tailbone. Exhale, cat. Down the spine, shift the gaze to the navel. Now begin to move your body clockwise as if it were a marble spinning in a cylinder. Return to tabletop and now rotate counterclockwise. Move your hands up about a foot. Curl the toes. And we do a half downward dog. Return to tabletop. Drop the left shoulder to the mat. Move the right arm to the top of the mat. And shift your gaze over to your armpit. Bring the right palm in front of the face. Press against the mat. Raising your body. Return to tabletop. Drop the right shoulder to the mat. Extend the right arm forward. Shift your gaze over to your armpit, your left armpit. Bring that left palm in front of your face. Press against the mat, rise up. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Inhale, return to tabletop. Move your hands up 6 inches. Index fingers pointed forward, parallel to each other and parallel to the outer edges of the mat. Curl the toes and push your hips up and back. Straightening the spine to a downward facing dog. This being the first downward Dog of the day. I invite you to walk it out, extending the left leg while bending the right knee, extending the right leg while bending the left knee. Bend both knees. Drive those heels to the earth. Keep that head hanging loosely like a mango. And imagine your armpits trying to kiss each other. Slowly inch your hands back to meet your toes at the back of the mat. Bend your knees, round your spine, and slowly articulate upwards with vertebra by vertebra. Roll the shoulders, chin parallel to the earth. Take slow steps forward to the front of your mat, feeling all the energy connected. Earth is magnetic, and there's energy flowing. Once you reach the front of your mat, establish Prabandha, which is either toes together, heels slightly spread apart, or feet at hip width distance, and make your way into a mountain pose. Shoulders drawn down away from the ears, crown of the head reaching up towards the sky, lots of space in the neck, tailbone tucked underneath, navel pressed against the spine. Posture right here. Inhale, bring the hands forward, up towards the sky, forward. For a forward fold. Long line of energy in the back here. Do not lock the knees. Grab your elbows and kind of just sway side to side. Wiggle a bit. Scan your body, see how this feels. Sway side to side. Place your fingertips on your shins. Extend the arms. Create an L with your body for a halfway lift. Shoulders are drawn away from the ears. Gaze is straight down. Exhale, forward fold. Lift, hands on the shins. And really try to get a micro bend in your upper back. If you get a crack, great. Exhale, hands on outside of your feet. Step or float back to a plank. You're on your toes here. Elbows are stacked over the wrists, just how it was in tabletop. Navel pressed against the spine. Core active. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower halfway down to Chaturanga. Lower yourself all the way down. Extend the left foot, press the right foot against the top of the right foot, top of the left foot. Bring your fingertips to where your nipples are. And inhale, rise up for a baby cobra. Exhale. Place your forehead on the mat. Gaze forward. Chin parallel to the earth. Exhale. Fall back down. Press against the mat with your hands. Open up your knees and press back into a child's pose. You're always welcome to go into this pose if you feel you have short breath, if there's any posture that just isn't working for you today. If your body says no, it's okay. There's other postures that your body will say yes to. This is always the rest pose. You can get tapped back into your Ujjayi breath here. Your Ujjayi victory breath. That is what we will be dialing into right now. And it's the whispering sounding breath all through the nose. Bring the knees directly underneath your hips. Curl your toes. Press your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Dial in the Ujjayi breath. Lengthen that spine. Let the head hang. Kiss the armpits. Drive the heels towards the earth. And imagine your hips are being raised by a harness in the sky. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and lightly step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, articulate up. Inhale, hands to the sky. Upward salute. Exhale, fold forward. Knees, curl the toes. Raise your hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Tap into the Ujjayi breath. Drive those heels towards the earth. Let the head hang. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and lightly step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Shoulders drawn away from the ears. Micro bend in the upper back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up to a mountain pose. Get a little fire breath. You can shake out your arms. Shake it out a little bit. Just shake. Whip it all up. Inhale, bend the knees. Well, return to a mountain pose. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips, raise the arms for a chair pose. Knee pointed over the second toe, long line of energy from your tailbone to the crown of your head, shoulders drawn down away from your ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands on the shins, halfway lift, creating an L with your body, like a little flagpole. Exhale, hands on the mat, lightly step or float back to chaturanga. Inhale, roll over the toes, upward facing dog. Avoid dumping in the lower back here. Exhale, drop the knees, curl the toes, press the hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Dial in that Ujjayi breath right here. This is your opportunity to claim your breath. Victorious. It's victory breath. Inhale, raise the left leg, bring it between your hands, drop the right heel. Right toes are pointed towards the top right corner of your feet, of your mat. Hips are neutral. Raise up for a warrior one. Left knee bent at 90 degrees, rooting down on the outside edge of your right foot. You can, if you're having trouble keeping the hips neutral, place your hands on your hips, pull the left hip back, right hip forward. Dial in the Ujjayi breath here. Exhale, hands on the mat, left foot back, lower halfway down, chaturanga. Inhale, roll up to an upward facing dog. Exhale, drop the knees, curl the toes, back into a downward facing dog. Feel free to walk it out. You can play with your downward dog. Just make sure your Ujjayi breath is tapped in. Inhale, raise the right leg, bring it between your hands. Left heel down, hips neutral. Rise up to a warrior one. Right knee bent at 90 degrees, hips pointed forward like headlights. Left toes pointed towards the top left corner of your mat. Avoid dumping in the lower back. Bring the tailbone underneath. Exhale. Hands on the mat. Step the right foot back. Lower halfway down to chaturanga. Inhale. Roll over the toes. Upward facing dog. Legs active. Thighs off the ground. Knees off the ground. Curl the toes. Drop the knees. And press those hips up and back for a downward facing dog. Dial in that Ujjayi breath. Do not abandon the breath. At the bottom of your next exhale, bend your knees, shift your gaze forward, and lightly step or float to the front of your mat. Inhale, hands on the shins, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Try and hug your arms behind your knees. And then extend the legs. Release the grip. Inhale. Bend the knees. Drop the hips. Raise the arms for chair pose. Rotate the pinkies inward. Send those arms to the sky. Knee over your second toe. Exhale, halfway forward fold. Inhale, rise up. Hands to the sky. Exhale, hands to heart center. Samastitihi. And again, just shake it out. Let it out. Breathe through your mouth. Regather yourself. Return to mountain pose. Hands at heart center. Step the left foot to the back of the mat. You prepare for a runner's lunge. So you're on your left toe, right knee bent at 90 degrees. Hands up. Now rainbow those hands down. Drop the left heel, rooting down on the outside edge of your left foot. Right knee at 90 degrees. Make your way into a warrior two. Hips are facing the side of your mat, left side of your mat. Avoid being too far forward or too far back. Right here, 90 degrees. Shift your gaze over to your right middle finger. Tap into the Ujjayi breath. Whispering, sounding breath through the nose. Warrior two, you're fighting fatigue in your legs, your arms, your breath. That's why it's a warrior pose. Inhale, bring the right elbow to the right thigh and bring your left arm over across the top of your body. Dial in the Ujjayi breath. Inhale, rainbow the hands to the back. Place your left hand on your left hamstring and bring the right arm over atop the cross of your body, shifting your gaze to the right middle finger for a humble warrior. Inhale, rainbow and back up to a warrior two. Straighten the right leg, heel toe the left foot closer to shorten the distance between your feet. Reach forward with your right hand and reach back with your left hip. And drop that right hand down to the inside of your right ankle. And extend that left arm up to the sky. Imagine an imaginary wall on your back, and you're trying to be flat on it. Inhale, rise up. And step to the front of your mat. Turn to start to shift your weight onto the right foot. and hinging forward, rooting down on the four corners of your feet, keeping that left leg extended and that left foot flexed. Make your way into a warrior three pose, keeping those hips neutral. Don't allow them to splay. Get a micro bend in your upper back. Micro bend in that right knee. Exhale. Return to center, to mountain pose. This is where we live. Inhale, step the right foot to the back of the mat so that your left knee is bent at 90 degrees. We're making our way into a runner's lunge. So make your torso be at 45 degrees. Navel pressed against the spine, hips neutral. Inhale, rainbow the hands over to a warrior two, dropping that right heel. Right toes are pointed towards the right side of your mat. You're rooting down on the outside edge of your right foot. Left knee at 90 degrees. Warrior two. Gaze is over the left middle finger. Hips are pointed towards the right side of your mat. You're dialed in on this Ujjayi breath. Your concentration is here. You're battling your mind wandering. You're battling your shoulders wanting to drop. You're battling the thighs. Inhale. Drop the left elbow to the left thigh. Bring the right arm over across the top of your body. Shift your gaze over to the right middle finger. And really stretch out that right side. Once you're in the pose, dial in the Ujjayi breath because you've successfully mastered the pose. That's a victory. Inhale, rainbow, the arms over. Keep that left knee at 90 degrees. Right hand on the right hamstring. Left arm over across the top of your body. Humble warrior. Gaze is on the left middle finger. Dial in the Ujjayi. Ujjayi breath. Extend the left leg. Heel toe the right leg closer to shorten the distance. Reach forward with your left hand as you reach back with your right hip. Drop the left foot down, your left hand down to your left ankle. Raise that right fingers, that right hand up to the sky. Activate the fingers and reach as high as you can while reaching down as far as you can. Yin yang. Avoid locking the left knee here. Inhale, rise up. And return to mountain pose. Start making your way onto your left foot, rooting down on the four corners. Raise your right foot and hinging at the hips with your hip neutral. Your left leg, your left knee with a micro bend, right leg extended, right foot flexed, hinge at the hip forward for a warrior three. Hips neutral. A little trick is keeping the right toe pointed inward. And then micro bend on the spine. If your practice allows it, extend your arms forward. Exhale, release to return to mountain pose. Inhale, bend the knees, drop the hips for a chair pose. Bring the palms together, bring them out in front of you with your arms extended. Bring your right elbow outside your left knee and twist to the left. Your hands should be at your sternum. Exhale, release. Inhale, return to a chair pose. Bring your hands together. Extend the arms. Bring the left elbow outside the right knee. And twist to the right. Hands should be at your sternum. Avoid dumping in the left shoulder. Keep the knees even. Rooting down on the four corners of your feet. You can wiggle your toes. Exhale, release. Return to a chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, rise up. Make your way to the side of your mat. And heel toe those feet outward as you prepare for a wide-legged forward fold. Toes are pigeon-toed, facing inward. Bring your tailbone underneath your hips and hinge forward at the hips, placing your hands on the earth. Aim for a micro bend in the upper back. Reach for your left ankle with your right hand and twist up so that your left arm shoots up to the sky. Your gaze is over to your left middle finger. Dial in the Ujjayi breath as you've successfully conquered this pose. Exhale, release to center. Reach over to your right ankle. Dial in the Ujjayi breath. Exhale, return to center. Heel toe. Your feet closer. Place your elbows on the insides of your knees. Bring your hands together for a Malasana pose. Heart is shining. Shoulders are drawn down away from the ears. You're pressing into your knees with your elbows. And you're pressing your elbows in with your knees. For that yin-yang effect, you root it down on the four corners of your feet. Hands on the mat. Extend the legs. And rise up. Okay, now shake it off. Just shake it off. I have drips of sweat flying off my body as I shake it off. Woo! It's really humid here. Make your way back to the top of your mat. Bend the knees. Drop the hips. Raise the arms up. Now keep dropping that butt. Keep dropping it. And roll onto your back. Bring your soles together. Not that sole, bring the soles of your feet together. And imagine that you're opening up your feet like a book. And you have this diamond shape right here. And then you just fold forward, rounding at the spine. Fold forward. Aiming to have these knees cascading towards the earth. Inhale, rise up. Extend the legs for a staff pose. Now you want to create an L with your body. Keep a micro bend at the knees, don't lock them. And your hands are along your side. Long line of energy from your tailbone to the root of your head. Avoid folding forward. You want to be sitting up tall. Bend the left knee. Grab your left ankle and bring it over across the top of your right leg. Bring your left hand back. And then you're going to hook your right elbow on the outside edge of your left knee. You're going to twist over to the left, shifting your gaze over to your left shoulder. Imagine an imaginary plane on your back. You want to have it all right there, pressed up on it. Exhale. Release the lock. Both arms back. Bring your left knee across. Extend the left leg. Bend the right knee. Grab your right ankle. Bring it over across your left leg. Right arm back. And now you hook the left elbow outside of the right knee and you twist over to the right. And you're pressing against your elbow as you press against your knee. Your gaze is over the right shoulder. Release the elbow. Bring both arms back. Bring the right foot over across. Extend the right foot. Make your way flat onto your back. Bring the knees in. Give them a hug. And then drop your feet down directly underneath your knees with your palms pressing against the earth. Root down on your feet to raise your hips, keeping the knees neutral. And interlace your fingers. Drop your chin towards your sternum. And breathe, letting that heart shine. Release the interlace. Unhook the shoulders. Raise the heels. And slowly articulate your back down to the mat. Upper, middle, then lower. Feet directly underneath the knees. Root down to rise up for another bridge pose. Bring the elbows underneath, your shoulders underneath. And your arms should be pressed down on the mat from your pinkies to your shoulders. Knees pointed directly forward. Avoid allowing them to splay. Release the interlace. Raise the hips. Raise the heels. And go back down slowly, upper, middle, then lower back. Extend the left leg. Fold it over across your right. Reach through the window of your interlace the fingers. Grab your right hamstring. Bend the right knee at 90 degrees. Flex the right foot. And pull back on your hamstring while pressing open the left thigh with your left elbow. Release the grip. Drop the right foot back down so that your left foot is directly underneath your left knee. Extend the right leg. Fold it over across your left leg. Create a figure four. Reach through the window. Interlace your fingers. Pull back on that left hamstring while keeping the left knee at 90 degrees and the left foot flexed. Press that right elbow against the right thigh to press it away from you. Creating a little more space. This is a reverse pigeon. The normal pigeon actually gives me, oh wow, a tree just fell. Release the grip. Drop the left foot. Extend the right leg. Bring it back down. Give your knees a hug. Kiss your left knee. Kiss your right knee. Now bring your elbows inside of your thighs so that your elbows are inside of your knees. Your tailbone is rooted. Your shoulders are rooted. And then you grasp the outside edges of your feet while keeping the tailbone rooted and the shoulders rooted. Press those feet into your hands up towards the sky. And then you pull on those feet with your hands down to the ground for that yin-yang effect. Happy baby. Welcome to rock this one side to side. massaging the lower back muscles. And just embrace this happy moment. Release feet. Extend the legs. And melt away into a Shavasana pose. Everyone's favorite pose. And frankly, the most important one, as it allows everything to settle back down in your body where it should be. It allows the blood to go where it's needed. You ground yourself. You rest. You tap back into your normal breathing. You think positive thoughts. If it's rainy, you think about the sun. If it's sunny, you think about the snow. Allow your feet to fall as they may, your knees to fall as they may. Allow your back to melt into the mat. Let your shoulders melt further and further away from your ears. Slowly start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, move your feet, move your hands, and energize your body back up again. Start to flex those muscles. And roll over to your left side. Extend the left arm over straight above your head and rest your head on your left bicep. Bend your knees at 90 degrees and have your thighs at 90 degrees from your torso. This is a fetus, an unborn baby pose. But worry not, you will be reborn soon enough. Maintain your eyes closed. Bring that right palm in front of your face. Cross-legged seated fold. No, not fold. It's a cross-legged seated pose. Your shoulders are drawn away from the ears. Tap back into those intentions you set. Who did you dedicate this practice to? Bring your hands to heart center. And I invite you for a collective Om after your next deep inhale. So exhale. Inhale with a 3-part breath. Thank you for letting me guide your practice today. I appreciate the time we shared. And when the practice started, it was raining. And now the sun's coming out. So all is well. Have a nice day. Peace.